Hello and welcome to your new moon video for the new moon of the 22nd of November 2014. What if I told you that progress was possible? What if I told you that a way forward could be found? You'd probably get really excited, wouldn't you? But similarly, would you be willing to give a little bit of ground in order to gain that progress? Or do you think that you might be stubborn and stuck? And maybe stuck isn't the right word. Maybe you actually feel devoted to the path that you're on. Maybe it's hard for you to give a little bit of ground because you don't want to give any ground. But from what the new moon seems to be indicating, there is a tremendous amount of opportunity for progress right now. But there's also a tremendous opportunity for energy to become stuck and stagnant. And when those two things are together side by side, the choice is obviously clear. Things will remain stagnant and things will be in one place and there will be difficulty as long as you are holding on to a specific set of circumstances. But if you're willing to find a balance, if you're willing to make a shift, make an adjustment in order to find a way forward, then it's indicated that a way forward can be found. Not only do we have the new moon in Sagittarius, the new moon is in the nakshatra of Anuradha, where it's joined by both Venus and Saturn. And Saturn actually rules Anuradha. That's what gives Anuradha its very passionate, devoted energy, along with several other things. But the stick-to-itiveness and the driven energy of Saturn is what makes that passionate energy burn so brightly. But there's another angle of Anuradha that's important to understand, which is occasionally there's the resistance, a la Saturn, because Saturn brings resistance into our lives, but that resistance is there so that we find a greater balance. Let's talk a little bit about Anuradha and what it's about. First of all, it's symbolized by a lotus flower. And lotus flowers have their roots in the mud, right? But they open up and become the most beautiful flower, open to the sunlight, and they grow on top of the water, but their roots are in the mud. So through the most difficult and painful of circumstances comes the blossoming of potential. But Anuradha also means another Radha. You know the story of Radha and Krishna. You'll have an understanding of the energy of Radha. Radha was very devoted to Krishna. So there's a very passionate, very devoted energy that's associated with Anuradha. But there's another aspect of Anuradha, yet another aspect that's very important. Whenever there are powerful planets, when you have 4 planets in Anuradha, that's pretty powerful. But whenever there are powerful planets within the lunar mansion of Anuradha, there's a need for balance within a specific relationship. But it can't be that each party is so ultimately devoted to their path, but yet at the same time they want to find progress. There has to be a little bit of give and take. Sure, you can have it all your way, you can stick with the devotion, but you're not going to find a way forward with this person. But if you don't want to find a way forward with that person, then hey, that's absolutely fine. Maybe you're doing the right thing. Maybe that sense of devotion is absolutely appropriate. Maybe it's just about realizing your potential, opening and blossoming up. But there still would have to be that balance in a relationship. And that balance in the relationship would be your self-relationship. At the same time that this new moon is occurring, there's a harmonious alignment that's being formed between Mars in Uttara Ashadha and the sign of Capricorn, and Mercury in Vishaka and Scorpio. So there's a challenge that's here. There's a challenge that's present. But Uttara Ashadha says that the energy can rise above. But in order to rise above the challenge that's there, one first has to identify the options for the future. And in identifying the options for the future, recognize which ones are doable, which ones are not doable, and make a wise and appropriate decision. And this ties in with this energy of Anuradha. Now, because Saturn rules Anuradha, and Saturn is about a sign behind the moon, plus other factors that are within the chart, it can make it so that there's a lot of very stubborn and very stuck energy. But the true giving planet in this situation is Venus, also in Anuradha, but in a section of Anuradha that offers the potential for flexibility, that offers the potential for some give and take, for some adjustments to be made. And where those adjustments can be made with this new moon energy, then very positive and very powerful progress is also very possible. So it may be that you don't want to give some ground, but perhaps give it some consideration. Perhaps think about how you might be able to make a change. Perhaps think about what your ultimate goal is. Perhaps envision that potential. Perhaps envision that way forward, what you want to achieve, what would ultimately be best for all parties involved. Do the work, take things into consideration, take a balanced look. Don't just act blindly. Instead, look, think before acting, be willing to make an adjustment. And if you do so, then wonderful progress is on offer to you. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube page yet, you might consider doing so. There's, you notice the note up here, you can subscribe to the YouTube page through a link below, however, it's not up here, I should point that out. I also have a vast range of astrological services that are available through the link above, which will take you to my website, where I offer written reports, personalized video reports, in addition to person-to-person consultations, all available through the link above. That's going to do it for your new moon video. I should say just a quick note to you, those of you who have been looking for the weekly astrological forecast, I'm having to put those on hold for a little while because my schedule is becoming so full. But if there's time to allow for those to come back into being, then I will bring them back into being. But for the present moment, we're just going to stick with the new moon and full moon videos in addition to your monthly video horoscopes, which will be available again by the 1st of December. That's going to do it for this time. Until next time, please do take very good care of yourself.